the idea that you have to wait until 2025 to start something is part of the problem of why you're not going to finish it to begin with. Is because you keep trying to delay things. It's like, if you already identified the problem, you're already ready to go, just do it.
But maintain it. Don't be miserable making money, because if you're miserable making money, you're going to be miserable all the time. Be happy at what you're doing. Find something that makes you happy, but find something that also pays the bill. And your life should be pretty smooth, man.
The world that we live in now and what we're going into for 2025, you're not going to be rewarded for working less. And that's just how it is. And that's just something you have to accept. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Social Club, where everyone has a seat at the table. I'm your host, Jacob Hale, joined with me by Cam Saunders.
What's up? What's up?
So this is a very special episode. The reason why is because we're going into the new year. So, of course, going into 2025, a lot of big things has happened this year, but a lot of big things to expect going into the next year. And, we kind of just want to take the time, talk about motivation, different ideas and things, and just ways to attack going into the new year. Everyone has their New Year's resolution and all that stuff, but, trying to take it a step further to where, like, you're actually acting on your plans and striving to be something and to be successful in your life and everything.
Yeah, for sure. I just think for me going into 2025, and I don't recommend everybody got their own view of life and how they approach things like that. But my biggest thing is this year for me personally, when I go into 2025, I just want to just gain and maintain and just keep my happiness and have as much fun as possible, right? I'm kind of I think New Year resolution, I think that's a little bit overrated, right? It's just something that sounds cool. Like, yeah, this year I'm going to start this and this is going to be or I'm going to give up this as my New Year revolution, right? And my whole issue is that if you're going to give up something at the start of New Year, why not start it now? If it's been on your mind to give it up at the start of the new year, just start it now. Don't wait till the new year to give up something or to gain a new habit, right? Start it now, right? Always been that mindset. If you're going to do something, do it now. Don't wait till the new year. Don't wait for nobody. Do it now, right? So, and, I'm about to be a father now. So, my life is going to change a little bit as my eyes, open up a little bit of, because I got a little one walking around. But, at the same time is that we're not getting no younger too. So, the last thing I want is I don't want to regret not doing something that I want to do. So my main focus is just happiness, making sure that I'm happy, my wife's happy, and just making sure that I'm maintaining my, my peace and my fun, right? I don't want to, just wake up, just thinking about other issues. I just want to have fun. And, as time go on, if it's a new habit that I want to create during the 2025 year, I make sure I get on that ASAP to start. So I don't look at, going into 2025 as starting a new resolution. Like I said, I think it's overrated. Y'all let me know if y'all think that's overrated. But if you got a habit that you want to drop, don't wait until the new year. And don't come up with a new habit like right now, like, oh man, I should probably stop vaping in 2025. Well, why not stop now? Why not get a head start, right? Why not go into the new year not vaping? Why start at the new year, right? So, that's just a couple things that I would give is that don't wait to start something, start it now. Just, maintain your happiness, do stuff that make you happy. Don't forget to, don't get caught up as in, working so much. I understand, a lot of issues in today's world. We're not going to get on them topics today, but, just find a way to maintain and, like I said, just maintain your happiness, bro. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think that's some real advice. What I would say is, obviously I'm always the on the go personality.
Yeah,
to where
for
it's
sure.
Like you have something, you got to start. You
Start and go. Yeah,
and I 100% agree with that. Is that I don't mind the resolutions and whatever works for other people, but the idea that you have to wait until 2025 to start something is part of the problem of why you're not going to finish it to begin with. It's because you keep trying to delay things. It's like, if you already identified the problem, you're already ready to go, just do it, right? Yeah. With anything. So I definitely agree with that. And yeah, obviously you're very focused on the happiness, but exploring new things. And, we talk offhand. There's a lot of cool things that you want to try out and do something new and everything like that. I know for a lot of people, it's kind of a catch-22 because you want to be happy, but also let's call it for what it is. You also want to make money, right?
Yes, sir.
And it doesn't always go together on getting both. You want to have fun with your friends, you want to party and stuff, but also you got bills and everything. So I think my biggest advice for people is that, The worst thing you can do is have a lower work ethic going into the new year, no
Yes.
matter what you're doing.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what you're doing. A lot of people like to argue if it's fair, if it's not fair. Do we need 40-hour work weeks? Do we not? And there's an argument for that for sure. But the world that we live in now and what we're going into for 2025, you're not going to be rewarded for working less. And that's just how it is. And that's just something you have to accept. So when I think about that is, I want people to have fun, but I don't want it because emotions are just a feeling.
Yep.
You can't always be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to have fun and to be happy and stuff, but I don't want it to overtake your responsibilities and what you want to do. And your responsibilities requires you to work harder and to not have fun, quote unquote, then that's just what you're going to be willing to do. That's just what you have to be willing to do in order to achieve these goals going into 2025.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But it also, if you, and I know how you say you got to work because you still got to pay bills, but if you genuinely like doing what you do, if you genuinely being happy making money at what you do, then I feel like the happiness should carry over, right? For an example, you like what you do, you like making bridges, you like building bridges, right? That's just something that genuinely that is something that makes you happy, right? If you enjoying that and that makes you happy, why not maintain that, right?
Yeah.
So that's just what I mean. Like if you had a job and you just miserable, but you always happy at home, you got to switch something up, right? You can't be miserable at work and then take that miserably to your home and to your kids where it's affecting your work life, right?
Right.
And that's what people saying, and that's what brings me up to the next topic. Like, do we deserve 40-hour work weeks? Well, million people who are millionaires, they overwork what they're making, right? People who's on salary, let's call it for what it is. Most of us that's on salary, we overwork our salary, right? The only people who's not overworking what they do is the people that's hourly, right? And you're hourly, what I mean, for a reason, right? So and I'm not saying there's a difference between hourly salary. I'm not saying that one is better than the other one. You know what I mean? It's do what you want, right? That's not the point. But you know, you work for what you get. What you put in is what you get out. If you put in a lot in 2025, you're going to get out a lot. If you put in the bare minimum, you're going to get the bare minimum. And that should just be the main focus. And that's just picking up on where you left off is that, hey man, listen, don't go into 2025 think you're going to be lazy and still get a high reward, right? This life is not FanDuel. Life is not to where you can just put in a gamble and then just hope you can win 500K as what a lot of people see on Twitter, that they can just go put in a sports bet and just become the next millionaire. That's not how life works, man.
Right.
That's not how life works, right? Work your ass off, get where you want to go, but maintain it. Don't be miserable making money, because if you're miserable making money, you're going to be miserable all the time. Be happy at what you're doing. Find something that makes you happy, but find something that also pays the bill. And your life should be pretty smooth, man. You just want to make sure that you maintain a good headspace. Make sure that you have a good work-life balance. You're never going to be overworking yourself, right? So that's just my biggest advice. Find something that makes you happy and find something that pays the bills while also making you happy. So,
yeah, absolutely. And I think there's 2 points that you touched on. It's like, for number one, you got to focus on yourself. So it's like, if you are paying the bills and you're enjoying life and you're having fun and stuff, you don't have to keep looking online, looking at the next best thing, looking at, judging the people around you or anything like that. Like if you cool where you're at, be cool where you're at. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah, be happy with yourself.
Yeah, and that's fine because there's pros and cons to it. I think the biggest lie that we're ever told is the idea that millionaires like just don't work.
Yeah, that's
like
a lie. That's
like the idea that they're just working like 2-3 hours a day and then they're just going and blowing their money the whole rest of the day. It's just a flat out lie. There are obviously outliers, but I look at the very successful people that I watch, not only in just a content related thing, but just in sports and all that stuff. They work way harder than what we're working. Like for example, so Kai Cenat, right?
Uh-huh.
So everyone can look at Kai Cenat, and granted, Kai Cenat's doing something that he likes and that he really enjoys, right?
Yep.
But Kai Cenat's making a crazy amount of money, right? Well, the thing is, people forget, bro, he just had a full subathon. I want you to think about the mindset of that, of spending a whole month, 24 hours filming, no script.
Entertaining us like that.
Not only that, you got to entertain us. You got to book all the guests ahead of time to get them to show up on time and what they're doing and everything like that. You got to diffuse situations because everyone's there. People are going to argue. You're 10 days straight in. People are going to be upset. People are going to be mad, right? Right. You got to hire cooks. You got to make sure you're getting the meals that you get, because you can't just sit down and start cooking in the middle of, your live stream, you
Uh-huh.
got to do stuff, right? You got to do that. You got to understand breaks, timing, what's going, all that stuff. So the amount of preparation he had to put before he even got to filming, and then the fact that he filmed for an entire month straight with an entire camera crew and everything, right? Like
And
that's way more than 40 hours a week.
Yeah,
Like it's not
Maya,
even
that was
close.
probably a 5 to 6 month process before he even got to the streamathon, right?
Right.
So he probably was planning that for 6 months in advance. So he's been working on that for 6 months straight, nonstop about how scheduling, making sure it's right, and all that good stuff. And that's the stuff that goes behind the scene. Let's just call it spade for spade. It is too. It's not a lot of young super millionaires out there that's just, that a lot of the millionaires and billionaires, they 50 to 60 years old, but they also put in the work all the way up to that point. Let's not forget that, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just be honest. One out of what, every 1,000 people, maybe higher than that, is young millionaires that's in their 20s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like some people get lucky, but you want to know how you get lucky? Lucky is not something that's just given, through a higher power or something like that. Lucky is preparation plus opportunity. That's when you are very prepared and the opportunity presents itself and you capitalize on it. That is luck. All right. I don't want nobody to think that luck is just something that somebody is blessed with. Luck is preparation plus opportunity. You've been preparing, you've been dreaming about it, you've been manifesting on it, you've been practicing it. The opportunity came, you struck gold on it, you're a millionaire. That is luck. And there's been a lot of people that's been lucky. Castanet, his stream, like you said, he's found a small audience. He lucked up with his audience. He prepared for it because he's been streaming a while before he even got big. He'll tell you that all the time. And next thing you know, he blew up. That's luck. That's what luck is. And if you want luck, be prepared and wait for your opportunity. You'll get lucky.
Yeah, and even when we're talking about luck, the strangest thing is that we make it feel like that when people finally get that luck and that payoff and stuff, that for some reason they don't deserve it. Again,
Yeah.
someone like a Kai Cenat, the dude recorded probably 5 years for free. Consistent every
Yeah.
single time with no payoff to it, having to figure everything out
I think he
else
was
out
in
himself.
college when he started too.
Yeah,
He was still doing schoolwork at the
exactly.
time.
So
So
so this notion that even the people who do become successful are just hitting the lottery every time, it's like, no, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to put in a couple years of not making money in order to get the opportunity to get that payoff. And you gotta accept that and be cool with that,
yeah,
right?
man. That's all it is. Luck is not something that's given. It's preparation meet opportunity, and that's something that I want to be clipped because people need to understand that luck is not given. It's preparation meet opportunity. Like a buzzer beater shot. Hey, man, I've been, LeBron hits a Kona buzzer beater, but LeBron probably shot 600 Kona 3-pointer shots before he even shot the game winning buzzer beater.
Right.
But it's once again his opportunity came. He been preparing for it. He hit the shot. That's luck. People look at a buzzer beater as what? Luck. You know what I mean? Most buzzer beater people say, "Wow, that was a lucky buzzer beater," but LeBron been working on that shot the entire time. You know what I mean? So let's just say people not getting lucky. These guys are actually working for it. I honestly believe that the people that's in these positions of making millions of dollars, I think they work for it and I think they deserve it. And I don't. If you think they didn't, I totally disagree because look at their background. They got a history. They got paperwork. They got paper trail. Right? These people are lucky. You know what I mean? If you want to get that high, just keep working, man. Your opportunity is going to come. Right? Just don't pass up on it when it's your time.
Yeah, 100%. So I guess let me ask, because I'm sure people would be curious. It's like, okay, all right, fine, I get it. I shouldn't be jealous. I shouldn't be looking at people higher than me, but I do want to make money. So, what would be the advice that you would give people going into 2025 to say that, like, hey, I want to make more money than I did in 2024? Do you have any advice?
Yeah. So my advice, and mind you, I'm not the richest in the world. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the best financially.
Hey, we're
So
just normal
yeah,
guys.
yeah. We
Just
just know
normal.
I'm just normal guys living in the United States. I pay
Yeah.
my taxes. All right. So, but my best advice on making money is one, and I'm still learning. This as I grow older too, is that you got to have multiple streams of income.
Mm-hmm.
One income is not going to do the job. One job is not going to do it. Take that money and do something with it. You got to put it somewhere else, invest it, do it. And I know when and trust me, I'm one of these people too. When people say invest your money, invest it in what, right? Invest it in what? What are you investing your money in? What do you want me to invest my money in? Find something to invest your money in. Okay, when you invest in your money, it's also a risk of losing your money too because you invest in it, right? You put money into something hoping that you can get a higher turnout. That's what investment is, right? Profit
Mm-hmm.
and loss, right? So it's like, what do you invest your money in, right? Well, to be honest with you, if I knew the answer to that, we all would be millionaires, right? If I knew exactly what to invest your money in. So what I highly encourage people to do is One is what what I am very blessed to have, and I can say this on a daily basis, that I'm happy to have a friend group that I have, right? I'm happy to be in the group chats that I'm in. I'm happy to have my boys because one thing about it is one mind 10 minds is better than one. 11 people thinking is better than one. So, as we talk in the group chat, we all throw in ideas and stuff of different things, whether, it's sports, whether it's life, whether it's this and that, is that, listen to your peers, take different advice, right? Do your research, do your own personal research, but also listen to your boys, get their thoughts on different things, right? See if they've been on the same thinking process as you, because most of the time you are who the people you hang around, right? Your friend group, all y'all have some type of thought connection. That's why y'all friends. That's why y'all in the group, right? Just listen to your peers, do your own research, right? Have different streams of income, save your money, right? Save your money, save your money, save your money, and and just keep looking for the next opening of something, right? I don't know what your opening is, right? I can tell you one thing though, that just saving your money is not going to do the job in 2025. You need your money to make money for you, and that's what I'm learning how to do now, because I was always big on just let me just save my money. The more I save, the more I have. Well, that's what a 401k for, right? Saving your money is basically a 401k. Me just leaving money in my savings account, I'm basically just having a second 401k, right? So why not just take that money, money I have, and do something with it and try to make more money? So I haven't figured out what I want to do with my money yet. That's one of my plans are, and that's what I'm still thinking about. But obviously, you want to have two different streams of income. So that's be my biggest.
Yeah, so 401k is a little bit different, but you were cooking, so I was going to let you keep going on that. So my stance on that is like how to make money. I think you brought up some good points that I just want to elaborate on some of the points that you made because I think you were on the right track with that. So yeah, the idea that you're going to save into being rich is like obviously that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So now here's something that I want to expound on though, because everyone says, okay, you need to invest, you need to invest. Well, what do you need to invest on, right? I can't give you a foolproof plan, but I can give you a concept
Yeah, for sure.
that makes sense.
Let
That,
us know
that
the concept.
yeah,
Let me
yeah,
and the
I'll
people
give
know.
you a concept. So this is what I'll say for everyone. Let's say you're starting at zero and you're trying to figure it out. Okay. So the first thing, and you can do this for the whole year. You can make your 2025 plan if you wanted to. So the first thing is you have to have what's considered an emergency fund, right? Emergency fund is just what we consider as liquid, but money on demand for whatever happens. If your car breaks down, emergency happens like a hurricane or something, you can get out, you can sustain yourself for a little bit of time, right? The goal of the emergency plan is 3 to 6 months of what your monthly expense is, right?
Yes.
So if your monthly expense, rent, car, phone, all that stuff, let's just say it's $2,000, right? So 3 to 6 months of that would be 6,000 to 12,000,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometime in that range. So then that's your goal now. Now you have to save $6,000 to $12,000. So then now you're looking at me as like, well, Jacob, if I can just save 6,000 to 12,000 in a year, then I wouldn't be asking you, right? So how do I do that, right? Well, you got a job. The easiest way to do it is you get a second job,
There you
right?
go.
You get a second job, you're strict on your spending because if one job is paying your bills, the second job, you should be saving all that money. If you work a second job on the side, and there's plenty of hustle jobs that you can do. You can walk into any Planet Fitness right now, fill out an application, and start working. And like I said before, it comes down to your work ethic, right? So this idea isn't for people that didn't want to work hard. I assume you wanted to get there and wanted to work hard, right? So that's why I'm telling you that the easiest way to do
Oh,
it.
back to that. Can you
Yeah,
tell the audience what's something that you had to sacrifice while having two jobs? Whether it
yeah.
was sleep, friends, partying,
Oh
free
yeah,
time. What's something
I'm,
that you sacrificed? Because by the way, y'all, if
yeah,
y'all didn't know, Hell, he's an engineer. He don't need a second job, but he wanted a second job. He had a second job, and he. I don't know what you sacrificed to work two jobs during that time, right? So
yeah.
I just want you to tell the people what you gave up and what you sacrificed to maintain a second job, but still
Mhm.
not self destruct.
Oh, absolutely. So, you sacrifice your social life, absolutely, because all your friends they want to do something on the weekend, not just partying, but just want to hang out with each other, and then you might be at work or you might be too tired when you get off work, right? But again, I was under the impression that you were trying to figure out a goal, right?
Yeah.
So there's things that you're just going to have to naturally sacrifice. Now, if you lose your friends in a year because you're working on a second job and you're trying to better yourself, God did you a favor. I'm going to
Okay.
tell you
Yeah.
that right now. If your friends are not around for you because of that stance, and because you're working and you're just not there, then I would argue that those were not your friends to begin with. And that's probably a good thing for you to go out and finally get new friends. So that's number one. Number two is sleep. Sleep is important, but I've seen all the studies. I'm going to tell you right now, successful people do not sleep well.
How many hours did
So,
you average to sleep?
me, oh man, I've had some bad nights. I'd say 6 was probably pretty good during that time,
Yeah,
but realistic, you can get probably 3 to 4 in that range, right? Depending on how bad you want it. Now, but with that being said, you do that, I guarantee you, at least halfway through the year, you'll have your 6 to 12 grand, and then once you do that, it's easier to put your foot off the gas pedal. To where if you do that 6 months, you get that emergency fund, you got that money, you're fine to leave if you
yeah,
want to or stick with one job. Now the next point. So now you have 6 to 12 as your emergency fund, right? So now you're like, okay, Jacob, now what am I doing? Am I putting $12,000 in Bitcoin or something? And it's like,
yeah.
no, you're not doing that. This is what you do. You can if you want, but I wouldn't recommend
And mind you, what he's
it.
about to say is choose what works for you. He's just giving
Mhm.
you a base background, right? So I just want everybody once again, he's not trying to tell y'all what to do. He's just giving
Right.
y'all a base. I just want to let some people might take it as far as like, well, shit, Jacob, why you're not rich? It's since you got the blueprint to the idea,
Absolutely.
right? So I just want to
Absolutely.
make that clear.
And yeah, and comment down below. Let me know what you think and everything. But so after that, you have your 6 to 12. All right. So now you're in a position where everything that you make after that in excess, now you can actually invest that money into anything, and you'll feel a lot better with that because you still have your emergency fund that's liquid in that
Yeah.
sense, and you'll be fine with that, right? Now, with the investment, everyone's like, what does that mean? What do you do and stuff? Well, there's long investments, there's short investments, there's small gain investments, there's large gain investments, there's risky investments, there's non risky investments, right? If you clearly want to win and you don't want to do any work for that, just put all your money into a 401k, Roth IRA, and a hedge fund, and then call it a day. And then in about 20 years or so, you'll probably have $1 million, right? If
Hmm.
you want to do that. That's the easiest. I'm telling you right now, you can clip this. This is the easiest, most simplest way. You make enough money to where you're fine. All the excess money, you just put it in an investment account, let other people handle it. 20 years, yeah, you'll have your $1 million that you've been wanting, right?
Hmm.
You want to do that? Go ahead. If you want to do something else where you're more hands on, you talked about happiness, right? Or part of being happy is having a job that you like to work at.
Yeah.
If you have a job that you want to work at that requires you to be the owner of that job, now you have money that you can actually start putting towards that.
Yeah.
Whether you want to invest into making a little hole in the wall restaurant, a food truck, let's say you have skills like you paint or
Yeah.
something, you want to paint, do all that stuff, and then get to that point to where you can start selling your artwork. But part
A
selling,
little harder course though, a little harder route to go through
yeah,
because you got to
yeah,
do promotion, you got to get the
right.
fan base, that type of
But
stuff.
all that takes money,
Yeah.
and because we figured out your savings thing, now you can pour all your money into that because you still have your emergency fund
Yeah.
to
For
begin with,
sure.
so
For
you
sure.
can do that, right? If you want to be even riskier than that, not so people want to say like the stock market and all that stuff. I personally not a fan of that, but if you do want to do the day trading route and everything like that, high risk, high reward.
Yeah, it's
You
very
could
high.
put
I know somebody
you
who does that. It
yep.
has he makes 6 figures a year doing
Yep.
that.
So
Like,
you could put 3,000 in, and you can lose 10,000, or you can win 20,000,
yeah,
right?
for
And there's
sure.
no in between on that. But some people like that, and that's what they want to do. The beauty of that is that if you want to build all your money up to that, and then you can say, okay, I built it up even further. I have 20K. I'm going to make $21,000 investments in the day trading and stuff, and try to hit big. Now, if you don't hit big in 20 times, maybe you should reconsider doing that,
Yeah,
right? But at least you have that chance. So what I say is you make enough money to where you can keep throwing investments into what you want to do. The only two components I have to say is that one, you're not guaranteed to be successful when you do that, but if you go all in on it, you're not going to be that wrong.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
most people who go all in on an investment and truly do and don't have anything and all that stuff, most of them don't lose everything. Most of them, at the least, make their money back on what they're doing and how that works and stuff. So that would be my advice. It's like you got to figure out what type of risk in investing that you want to do. There's no surefire investment outside of what I said before. Pour all your money into an investment account. Don't look at it for 20 years and you'll have $1 million, right? But everything else takes an amount of risk, but there's a higher reward. So instead of 20 years, in 5 years, you can have $1 million if you do it right. In 10 years, you can have it, or you can have something so successful that you just leave your current job and then now you're just doing something that you like, right? So now you're just happy and you're content with everything.
Yeah. So moral of the story is you're not going to get rich overnight. It's just not going to happen, right? You're not going to get rich overnight, right? I know that, he know that, you know that, right? So like I said, I'm not the best when it comes to money. If I was, I'd be a millionaire right now, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, though, it's a learning curve, and I'm still learning how to use my money, right? What a family is different. You got to be more strict with your money, right? So just find what works for you and just do what you want with your money, but don't make bonehead mistakes. And I think that's all Hale's trying to make, tell you is that, hey, do what you want with your money. You can make good investments, you can make smart investments, or you can be very risky with your money. But
Right.
have a savings, have an emergency fund, because if you lose your job, at least you got something you can fall back on, because it shouldn't take you 6 months to find a new job, right? So if you're gonna take risks, have some money put away for emergencies. But other than that, at that point, just do what you want. I totally agree with you, bro. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
I would
Totally
just
agree.
say I would just say one more thing because I'm thinking about it now. So a lot of people when they're trying to figure this out, they have the issue where they want to diversify their investments, right, and just put it in a bunch of different things, right?
Yes.
You're free to do that. You really are. But what I would say is, I think it's a big misconception because you're dealing with a limited amount of money.
Yeah.
So most people aren't going to have $10,000 in cash to just put $1,000 investment into everything,
Everywhere.
right?
Yep.
I would much rather you have $10,000 and put $10,000 into one thing and go take that to the moon, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say that is because you need your maximum amount of attention if you want to get off on the other end to where you're successful, you're making the money that you want to be making. And then when you're making that money, then you can diversify to keep the money that you've been making, right? So, for example, we'll go back to Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat was a streamer. Kai Cenat wasn't a streamer slash cook slash lawyer slash nerd, everything,
Yeah.
And that's the problem. A lot of people like to do a bunch of different things at the same time. No, Kai only focused on streaming. And
Yeah.
now he makes so much money in streaming. Now he's diversifying into other things. Now he's getting property, investing in other brands and shirt lines
Yeah.
and other things like that. So I would say that a lot of people, when they start on it, they try to do 4 or 5 different things at the same time. Just be really good at one thing and
Yeah,
make a
for
lot of
sure.
money in that, and then diversify to keep your money and then build up other streams of income and stuff.
No, I totally agree, man. I totally agree.
Yeah. So
Hey, one day I'm gonna be a millionaire. I don't know when, but it's coming. I'm trying to tell you, it's coming.
we'll have an episode. We'll do like a giveaway.
Yeah.
Actually, you make $1 million, then we'll do $1 million giveaway
Listen,
so you can give away your
Listen,
million.
if I hit for $1 million, if I ever make $1 million or have $1 million at one time, I'm going to start a streamer house like Hasadak.
There you go.
I'm going to start a streamer house,
Yeah.
and I would do a giveaway. Matter of fact, I would give away $100,000 if I had $1 million. So
There you go. Well, let us know what you guys think. What's some other advice that you would like to share with us, and just let us know.
Hey, we all learning from each other. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of that's the whole point of Hell New Podcast, right? We all learning from each other. That's why he called it a seat at the table, because he's not only just saying stuff to try to give y'all a feed, but he's he wants to also receive information from y'all so he can learn too, right? And he's not a dumbass. He's also going to do his research on the information you give him, but it's still good to put his thoughts in a different line so he can think about certain things. So that's why I like about my boy New Podcast. So he's giving everybody a area to talk, and just to hear different perspectives out there. It just help us read and learn about a lot of different things, and we understand that some things might be good, some things might be bad, but also we got to take the initiative to do our own research, and that goes for everybody who's reading other people's comments too. So I think I like my boy New Podcast. I think he got something going on, man. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, 1,000%. And you guys definitely check us out on Discord. Just another way to connect with you guys and talk about things and build that connection. But other than that,
yeah. Hey, have you released a Discord schedule yet? Have you thought about a schedule of what days you're going to be what days you're going to be on, and interacting with people? Have you put that into thought yet, or just coming soon?
Coming soon. But what I'll say is the link is down below, and if you comment, I'm going to see the comment. So I'm going to respond.
What about the days they just want to hear Hell when you're not recording, right?
Yeah, yeah, we can do that.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean. What days are you going to actually just be in Discord, just having conversations with different people and just talking about different things, like just having all the boys in the Discord, doing different,
you
just
know
talking
what?
about different things and
This
stuff
is
like that.
this is what I'll do. You guys click the link, join down below. We'll talk about it, and I'll do it on their time. I'll figure out what works best for them, and then that will be the schedule that we'll do.
Bet, bet. All right, I'm all for it. Just let me know when to be there. Like I
All right,
said, I'm in there talking all type of shit.
perfect. All right, well, see you guys in the next one.
All right.